Present, sir.
Anil Kumar. Aniruddha Das.
Present, sir.
Ankita Gupta.
Present, sir.
Anvesh Chauhan. Apan Jain.
Present, sir.
Apan Jain.
Present, sir. Hello.
Ashutosh Kumar. Arpit
Present, sir.
Srivastav. Sorry, Arpit Srivastav. Arvind.
Present, sir.
Arvind.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Aryan Saini. Ashutosh Bansal. Ashutosh Kumar.
Present, sir.
Ashutosh Kumar Yadav.
Present, sir.
Asta Jyoti.
Present, sir.
You are very irregular, Asta Jyoti.
Yes, sir.
Murtaja.
Present, sir.
Devendra Patel.
Present, sir.
Devesh Pratap. Devesh Pratap Singh. Dhruv Khatri. Dhruv Khatri. Dhruv Singh Rawat. Divya Singhal. Divya Singhal.
Sir,
Yes.
Dhruv Singh Rawat present, sir.
Okay. Gaurav Kasat is also very irregular. Gaurav Pratap.
Present, sir.
Gopi Sethi, Satish Kumar. Harsh Bhaktani.
Yes, sir.
Harshit Gupta. He is not at all attending. Tell Harshit Gupta that if he is there, he will end up with poor grade. Hiralal Yadav. Hiralal. म्यूट आल नहीं आ रहा है ना. ओके ओके हो गए. हीरालाल यादव. हेमंत.
Present, sir.
इंद्रेश गुप्ता. इतिशा. जतिन विनोद. जितेंद्र कुमार. जूही. Kanav Bansal is not attended any class. Kirat Kaur. Keshav. Kushal. Komal. Kumar Sagar.
Present, sir.
Megul Tyagi. Mohit Kumar. Mukul Soni.
Present, sir.
Muskan Dogra. Narendra Kumar.
Present, sir.
You are attending first time, Narendra Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You will see it in your grades. Enjoy yourself.
Sir, I was in quarantine.
Whatever it is. Okay. Nishant
Sir, I'll be
Mittal.
there.
Nishant Mittal.
Present, sir.
Piyush Miglani. Princy Yadav. Purva Dua.
Present, sir.
Rahul. Ravichandra. Ravichandra. Rishabh Sharma.
Present, sir.
Rizul Bansal. Romi Agarwal. Ronak Soni. Ronak Soni is also not attending. Malavika.
Present, sir.
Sahil Yadav.
Present, sir.
You are attending for the first time. Sahil Yadav. If this is the case, you will also end up in bad grade. Sanskar Parikh.
Present, sir.
Sarthi Tripathi.
Present, sir.
Saurabh Singh.
Present, sir.
Shashi Muchkund. Shashi Muchkund. Shubham Bharadwaj.
Present, sir.
Shubham Gupta.
Present, sir.
Shubham Gupta.
Present, sir.
Shyam Tiwari.
Present, sir.
Siddharth Mani Tripathi.
Present, sir.
Sumit Vardhan.
Present, sir.
Tarun Trivedi. Tarun Trivedi absent. Vibhu Chacharya. Yashasvi Budhwar. Yugant Kumar.
Present, sir.
Harshal Shande.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, Juhi Agrawal.
Who all joined afterwards? Juhi then.
Kirat.
Juhi Agarwal. Okay.
Sir,
Kirat
Kirat.
then. Yes.
Hello?
Then. Who else? Any other? Tell me.
Apanjan
Sir,
has been marked
Shubham
on-
Gupta.
Apanjan I have given already.
Sir, Shubham Gupta.
Shubham Gupta also I have given.
Okay.
I have given Shubham Gupta. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Okay.
my microphone was not working correctly.
Okay, no problem. Okay, let us start. So in the last class, we have discussed how a simplex method can be used to arrive at the optimum maximum value of an objective function, where we have less than or equal to constraints, and we have formulated the rules. So basically what we do here is that we move from one basic feasible solution to a another basic feasible solution in such a way that in each iterations we tend to maximize this. Okay, so I will give you the what is that, the algorithm again, and we'll see graphically how this really the simplex method works. Okay, and then we will go for variations of using this simplex method for solving other type of LP problems where you have greater than or equal to constraints or equality constraints, minimization problem. Okay, if you have right hand side which is negative right hand sides, or if the values may have a unrestricted, that means even if the decision variables may take a negative values. Okay, the procedure which I have explained in the last class is applicable for maximization problem. Okay, subject to less than or equal to constraints, all the right hand sides in the constraints are positive values, and all the decision variables are positive. Okay, so let us see how the simplex method moved. Okay, from one basic feasible solution to the other basic feasible solution. So let us see how so we have solved this problem. Maximize z is equals to 2x1 plus x2, subject to the conditions that, okay, 3x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 300, and x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 200 and x1 x2 greater than. This is the a standard linear programming problem where we have a maximization function subjected to less than or equal to constraints with positive right hand sides. Okay, and these decision variables x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. So what we did is we converted it by adding a slack variable, which is by adding like this, plus x3 is equals to 300, then we had plus x4 is equals to 200, and we have x1, x2, x3, x4, they should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so we have added 0 times x3 plus 0 times x4. So what is the initial basic solution which we started? We started by taking the x1 and x2, the decision variables, as 0. So when x1 is 0 and x2 is 0, we have x3 will be 300 and x4 will be 200. That means the first solution which the first starting point, the starting basic solution, starting basic feasible solution for simplex method is where all the decision variables are 0. So that becomes 0, 0, 300 and 200. Okay, so if I solve this problem using graphically, which we solved earlier, okay, so basically we are plotting this in x1 and x2 space, x1 and x2 space. Okay, so when x1 is 0, I'm just when x1 is equals to 0, what will be x2? X2 will be 300. The original problem I'm taking 3x1 plus, to plot the feasible reason, is less than or equal to 300, and x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 200. Okay, so when x1 is 0, x2 will be 300. When x2 is 0, this will be 100 x1. So this is the first constraint. The second constraint will be, this is 200 and this is, let us say, 200. Okay, so when x1 is 200, x2 will be 0, and so this is, so my feasible solution, my feasible reason is this, isn't it? So the starting point which we have started for the basic the simplex method is that by making x1 and x2 are 0, so then, so what will be the values of x1 and x2 at this point, the basics. So we have started with this. What is the, so let me write the simplex table, first one, the first simplex table, the starting simplex table. The starting simplex table was this. The basis is x3, x4, row 1, row 2, z row. Okay, coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 and RHS. Okay, so the first was this. What is it? 3, 1, 1, 0, 300, and this is 1, 1, 0, 1, 200, then z minus 2, minus 1, 0, 0, 0. This is the first, if you see the previous thing. So this is the first simplex table, isn't it? So what is the solution corresponding to this table? You know that the basic variables are x3 and x4, other variables will be 0. So that means the solution is x1 is 0, x2 is 0 because they are non-basic variables, x3 is 300 and x4 is 200. What is the objective function value? Z is 0. Okay.
0.
Then what we did is we found out which one has to go into the basic solution and which one has to come out of the basis. So in the second, what do we have? In the second table, when we did it, so we got this basis x1 is coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 RHS. Okay, the row 1, the basic variable corresponding to this is 1, 1, 1, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 0, 100. Row 2, x4, 0, 2 by 3, minus 1 by 3, 1, we have 100. Okay, and z row, z 0, minus 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 0, 200. So what is the solution corresponding to this? What is the x1 value?
100.
100. x2 is
0.
0 because it's a non-basic variable. And what is x3?
0.
0. And because that is a non-basic variable, and x4 is
100.
100. So in this x1, x2 space, where do we get this? Where x1 is 100 and x2 is 0, this point. So that means we have moved from this point, this is the point 1 to point 2. Okay. So and we have got, that means there is no point in checking this. So that means we have moved in this iteration from this point to this point. So how much value the z value has increased? Here z is equals to 0 and here z is equals to 200. Okay.
200.
Still we have not got the optimum because in the z row there is a negative coefficient for the non-basic variable x2. So we can still, there is a possibility of improving the objective function. Okay. So the third iteration is this. The third iteration, if you see, this is the coefficient of basis is coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 and RHS. Row 1, the basis is x1, 1, 0, 1 by 2 minus half, 50. Row 2, x2 is the basis, 0, 1, minus half, 3 by 2, 150, and z row or row Z, Z 0 0 1 by 2 1 by 2 250. So this is the, so what is the solution corresponding to this? X1 is 50, X2 is 150, X3 is 0 and X4 is 0. Okay, so we have moved now from this point to this point where you have, this is 50 150. Okay, and Z value is how much?
250.
250. Okay, basically we are moving, see, all these solutions are basic solutions. That means basic solutions are those in which if I have n plus m variables and if there are m constraints, then n value should necessarily be 0 and other m will be non-negative. Such a solution is called a basic. So basically we are moving from one corner point, or usually when you plot it in a graphical way or in the space, okay, in the parametric space of the decision variables, you will be moving from one corner to the other corner. Okay, so till you reach. So why we are stopping this? Because here for all the in the Z row, for all the non-basic variables, the coefficients have become positive. Okay, so that's why we stop here. Okay, you cannot maximize it further. This is the maximum which we can get it. Okay, so basically this is the graphical presentation of the how the the simplex method moves from one corner point solution to the other corner point solution. Okay, so without checking in the entire feasible reason. Okay, so that way computationally, if the number of variables are too much, okay, so this saves a considerable amount of, okay, uh, computational effort. Okay, so now let us see. So I will write the procedure what we discussed yesterday, how we um, constructed these tables. Okay, these simplex tables. Then we will further we will go for other variations. Okay. So the procedure for simplex method for standard problem. Procedure for simplex method. One is, the first is express the LP problem in the standard form. What is standard form? Standard form is one where you are maximizing the function. The constraint should be less than or equal to constraints. The right hand sides on the of the constraint should be positive numbers, and all the decision variables should be positive in positive values. That is the standard form. Okay, any other form can be first. If you get a problem, an LP problem which is other than this, first you have to convert this into the standard problem, then you have to solve. How we convert it, I will be discussing in later parts. Okay, the second is now, okay, identify the starting solution. How do we identify the starting solution? Okay, by making all the slack variables as zero and all the decision variables as 0. Okay, solution and construct the starting simplex table. The third is check for optimality of current solution. How will you check for optimality? How do we check whether the solution is optimal or not?
Coefficients in the Z row.
In the Z row for
If negative, then we
for non-basic variables. Okay. The solution will be optimal. The solution will be optimal if all the coefficients in the Z row for non-basic variables. Okay. For basic variables, what will be the value of coefficients in the Z row? Hello? What will be the coefficients in the Z row for basic variables?
0.
They will be 0. For non-basic variables, if you have a negative coefficients, will be if all the coefficients in the Z row for non-basic variables is negative. Okay, then you know that it is not optimal. Okay, will be optimal if they are positive. Actually, I should write is or positive. The solution will be optimal. Okay, if all the coefficients are non-negative or positive. Okay, positive. If they are negative, that means you have not yet reached the optimal solution, so you have to do the iterations. Okay, so if it is not optimal, okay, if the solution is not optimal, that means there are some negative coefficients in the Z row. Okay, then how do we identify the entering variable? Identify the entering variable. How do we do that? Entering variable
Take the
is
ratio.
that variable which has the most negative coefficients in the Z row. The entering variable is that variable for which which has the variable which has the most negative coefficient. Yes. Most negative coefficient in the Z row. Okay. Then how do we Satinder, you tell बाद में call later. How do we identify the departing variable?
With the help of ratio.
This is the basic variable in the current solution in row I. This
It
is
should be positive and ratio is
positive in the
minimum.
pivotal column. Okay. This is the basic variable which will be going out in the current solution. In the current solution in row I, for which the ratio, okay, what is this ratio? Bi by Aij is minimum. This needs to be done. This test needs to be done for all those pivotal coefficients which are positive. That for those Aij greater than or equal to 0, greater than 0 means positive values. The sixth is then perform the row transformations. What are these row transformations? New pivotal row is equals to old pivotal row by the pivot, and for other things new row will be equal to old row minus pivot column coefficient by the new pivot row. Okay, so that I have told in the last class. Okay, that is basically Gauss-Jordan transformation. So again you construct one more table. Okay, repeat steps from 3 to 6. Steps 3 to 6. Okay, till optimal solution is reached. So actually, Satyendra, we have this PDF na of this. Uh, I will be uploading the PDF of this book which I am referring. Okay, so if some details I am not I will not be able to give all the details because the time is small. Okay, so you can have a PDF of this, so you can have a leisurely look at this. Okay, so then you will understand how this procedure goes. Okay, is it clear? So I will be uploading today. Okay, so anybody having some problems with this how do we use the simplex method, so they can go through the book. Okay, if you still have any problem, okay, you can ask me the questions. Okay, so now if you see here when so how do we fix the entering variable in the simplex method? What did we do? How did we
Having
choose
coefficient
which entering?
most negative coefficient.
So which has the most negative we will send we will in the simplex tables the non-basic variable which has the most negative value. Okay, negative coefficients in the Z row will be entering the basis. Okay, suppose if there are two non-basic variables which have the same value of the negative coefficient, then what will we have? Which one we have to set? That means in case of a tie for entering variable. In these situations, you can choose any one of them. If there is a tie, one can choose any one of these two. Okay, so the simplex table सिर्फ ये है कि instead of going to one corner, you will be going to the other corner, but the objective function will be increasing by the same amount because your the negative value, the coefficient of this is there. What happens if we have a tie for departing variable? What is departing variable? Because now we are sending one into the basis, so one of the basic variables has to be made 0. That means it has to come out of the basis. Okay, so how do we decided this? The departing variables.
Ratio should be minimum.
We just in the pivotal column we saw all those basic variables coefficients which are positive, so we took the ratio of the right hand side divided by that pivot column coefficient. Okay, so whichever is less we have taken, isn't it? Suppose if there is the ratio is same for two variables, then what should we do? You can choose any one of them. Okay, but the problem here is that, okay, if you have such problems, then the solution will be a degenerating solution. Okay, the solution is a the solution is a degenerate solution. That means basically what happens is with we do not go into details of this because it is the beyond the scope of this. A degenerate solution is one in which the simplex method will be just doing iterations and iterations. There will be repetition of iterations, repetition of simplex iterations without attaining maximum. It will go on doing, so you will have some negative coefficients, but again you do it, so it will go on forever and ever. But this such type of problems are very rare, and as such we do not really discuss too much about this. And one more interesting problem is the multiple solutions. The third one which you may get is what we have is multiple solutions. When do we get multiple solutions? Any idea? Hello? In this last problem, where did the minimum occur? Hello? Where did the minimum occur?
At 0, 0, the value is 0.
No, sorry, the maximum.
50, 150.
So maximum occurred at the corner, isn't it? Sometimes what happens is this maximum may occur on one of the boundaries on the straight line. Okay, this is possible if the objective function is linearly dependent on one of the constraints. Okay, so that time the objective function will be the maximum will occur along the boundary rather than at the corner. In such situations we get multiple solutions. Okay, For example, you take this example. Let us say I am maximizing z is equals to 2x1 plus x2 subject to the condition that 3x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 300 and 4x1 plus 2x2 is less than 500. Okay, and x1 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. By seeing this objective function and the constraints, can you tell anything about whether you will have multiple solutions or not?
Yes, sir.
Which
Uh,
one?
Second constraint, linearly dependent on second constraint.
The objective function is 2x1 and x2. What is the slope of this? -2.
-2.
If I take as mine, okay. What about this? 4x1 plus 2x2. These two will have the same slope, no? So that means basically this objective function is linearly dependent on this because these two are same. Okay, in such situations we will be getting the solution, okay, on the boundary. Okay, so if I plot the graphical solution for this, what will be this? Let me plot the graphical solution for this. How does it look like? When x2 is 0, x1 is 100, and then x2 is 0, x1 is when x1 is 0, x2 will be 300. Okay, so this is the first constraint. Anything above this is not feasible. You have to have here when x1 is 0, what will be x2? 250. Okay, so let me put it as 250. When x2 is 0, how much will be x1? 125. So this one is this. Okay, so this objective function, so my feasible reason is now, what is that feasible reason? This is my feasible reason, isn't it? So now if I take this 2x1 plus x2, okay, the slope is equals to c. Let us say 2x1 plus x2 is equals to some constant. So how will that look like? It will be parallel to this line, isn't it? This second one. When I move this, as I go on increasing c value, it will go. When it meets the feasible reason, so where will I get the maximum? Will I get at the corners or will I get on this line? Let me call this as A, B, C, D. Will it be at C or will it be on the entire line CD?
CD, entire line CD.
Entire line, because any point on this will have the same objective function. So that means here I will have infinite solutions. That means basically I have multiple solutions here. Okay, so in such situations, what happens to the simplex method? That's what we are going to discuss now. Okay, so what is the simplex formulation for this? We can write now this as plus x3 is equals to 300 plus 0 times x3, and here we write it as, sorry, plus x4 is equals to 500 plus 0 times x4. Here we will have x1, x2, x3, x4 is equals to 0. Okay, so what is the starting solution for the simplex method? Hello, where you keep x2, x1 and x2 as 0.
0.
So 0, 0, 300 and
500.
500. And what is the value of z?
0.
0. Z is equals to 0. Okay, so when I write the simplex table for this, it will be somewhat like this. That is basis coefficient of, so what are the bases here? X3, x4 and z is, we will write it, so 3 basis coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 and RHS. Okay, this will be 3, 1, 1, 0, 300, okay, 4, 2, 0, 1, 500, then we will have minus 2, minus 1, 0, 0, 0. This is the first basic. This is row 1, row 2, row z. Okay, so which is the entering variable now here?
x1.
X1, because it has the maximum negative number here, so x1 will go into the basis. Okay, and because, so you take the ratio here. Okay, so 300 by 3, 300 divided by 3 is equals to 100, and 500 by 4 is equals to 125. So which will leave?
x3.
X3 will leave. So we mark this. Okay, so this will go. So that means x1 will enter into the basis. So then when I do the transformations which we discussed in the last class. Okay, so we will get the table as like this. So the second table will be basis coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 RHS. Okay, so basis will be row 1. For row 1 it will be x1. Okay, so the coefficients are 1, 1 by 3. I am just writing it out because you can do it. So this will be 100. Okay, row 2 will be x4. Okay, 0, 2 by 3 minus 4 by 3. Okay, 100, and row row z will be z 0 minus 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 0, 200. Okay, here, so what is the entering variable now? Minus 1 by 3
x2.
x2, because it has a negative value. Okay, so basically this is the entering variable, and ratio is how much? 100 divided by 1 by 3, which is equals to 300. and 100 divided by 2 by 3, which is equals to 150. So this will be the x4 will go out of the basis. So this will go out and this will enter. Okay. So when we do again one more iteration, where is this? So I will write one more simplex table here. Okay, with x2 as this. So we will be getting basis. Okay, coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 or hs. First you have to fill up now here row 2 because that is the pivotal row. Okay, so that is x4. Okay, so that will be 0, 1, minus 2, 3 by 2 and 150. Okay, and row 1 will be 1 sorry, this is x sorry, this is x2 and this is x1 because x2 is going here. X1 1 0 1 minus half and 50. Okay, and row z is z 0 0 0 half 250. Okay, so I get this. So can I get the did I what is the or did I get the optimal? Did I do we reach the optimal or we have to do still do further? What are the non-basic variables here? X3 and X4 and X4. So in the row Z, okay, the coefficients of this non-basic variable should be positive. But here what is happening to X3? The coefficient of X3 in the Z row, which is a non-basic variables. This indicates that there are multiple solutions. That means in the final simplex table, if for any basic variable, any non-basic variable, if the coefficient in the Z row, okay, is 0, that indicates that this solution has a multiple solutions. That means, so what is the value corresponding to this? What is the solution for this? 50, 150, 0, 0. This is x1 is 50, x2 is 150, x3 is 0, x4 is 0, and the objective function value z is how much? 250. Okay. So, but we know that there are multiple solutions. How do we get the another solution? What you do is treat this 0 as a negative value. 0 can be treated either as positive or negative. We do not have any problem, no? Suppose if I treat this as negative variable and I make this as an entering variable. Okay. So then that means now x3 will go into the basis. Okay. So which will come out? It will go out x1 because we have to see for all those pivotal columns which are positive. Okay, so we have to take the ratio only for positive value, so which is 50 by 1, which is 50. We should not try this because it has a negative value, so this will go out. Which one? X1 will go out and x3 will go in. Okay, so if we write that now, the next simplex table, I will take another 5 minutes. Okay. So because that will clear us this. So if I do the again one more simplex iteration, the basis, now the basis will be, what will be the basic variables? X3 and X2. Okay. So this is row 1, row 2, row Z. Okay. So this is Z. Where is this? सत्येंद्र, just come here. ये इसमें आना है, वो इसको ऊपर ऊपर भेजना है.
हाँ ऊपर कर दीजिए, यहाँ रखिए.
हाँ इसी.
हाँ नहीं ऐसे यहाँ रखा ना आपने, इसको ऊपर कर दीजिए, ये लीजिए.
इसको क्लिक करना है यहाँ.
हाँ क्लिक करके पकड़ के ये आप इसको क्लिक करना, ये विल होल्ड एंड यू कैन ड्रैग इट अप.
Okay. Then don't okay. So the coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4 and RHS, I am writing it. Okay. So x3 is 1, 0, 1, minus half, 50. Then 2, 1, 0, 1 by 2, 250. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 1 by 2 and 250. Okay, so this will be the solution. Okay, here again, what is the solution here now? I am getting x1 is 0, x2 is 250, x3 is 50, x4 is 0, this is x1, x2, x3, x4, and the z value we are getting the same as the previous one. Here also again, if you see the for the non-basic variable, which one? X1, you have got one more 0. So if you put it, if you again send this there, you will get this. That it means x1 will go and x3 will come out. So like that. So it will be, so you have got two corner point solutions where you have the same value. Okay. So a linear combination of these two, a linear combination of these two will also have the same objective function. What is the midpoint of this? $25. Okay. And 150 plus 250, how much? 400 divided by 2, 200, 25 and 0. This will also have the same if you check. Okay. So basically what we are getting here is two. If you go now to the graphical solution. So what is this point C? What is the value of x1 and x2 at point C? Can anybody tell? What is the value of x1 and x2 at this point? 250 and 0 and 250, isn't it? Hello?
Yes.
What is x1 and x2 at point C?
50, 150.
How much?
50, 150.
50 and 150. This is what we have got now in this optimal solutions. If you see here, we have 50, 150 and another one is 0, 250, isn't it? Here. See, basically we have got these two corner point solutions which have the same value. A linear combination of this, okay, any point on this line will also have the same value. Okay, that means you will have infinite solutions. What will be at the midpoint? The value 25 and 200. This will also have the, you substitute here in this you will get the same value of the objective function. Okay, so this indicates that you will have multiple solutions. Okay, and those multiple solutions can be obtained by doing one more extra iteration. So the multiple solutions of the problem will be indicated by the presence of 0, okay, for the coefficient of the non-basic variables in the final simplex table in the Z row. In the Z row, when do we stop this iterations, simplex iterations? We stop the simplex iterations when the coefficients in the Z row for all the non-basic variables are positive. By chance, if for any one of them, if the coefficient is 0, it indicates that you have multiple solutions. You do one more simplex iteration and you will get another corner point solution which has the same objective function, like here 250 and 250. Okay, a linear combination of these two solutions will also have the same objective function. That means there will be infinite solutions. Okay, having, that means basically your maximum is falling on a boundary. Okay, so all the points on that boundary will have the same objective function. Okay, so this is how we come about the we will know about the multiple solutions. Okay, in the next class we will take about what is unbounded solution, and if there are variations in what is that, other problems like minimization, greater than or equal to constraints, how do we tackle those? I will be taking in the next class. Okay, hello. So I will be uploading this book. Okay, so I try to explain as much as possible. I think I might have missed some points. Okay, because teaching on this whiteboard is quite inconvenient, because we don't have, I have to really think how to make it clear for you. Okay, so that is taking time for me. So even then I try to do my best. Okay, but anyway, I will be uploading this PDF soft copy of this book. Okay, so if you have further doubts, please go through that. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me, okay, in the class. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay, bye.
Bye, sir.